doing an unboxing video for a Zmodo 1080p camera system. It's sPoE, basically it's power over Ethernet. It's an 8-channel system, but I purchased it with the 4 exterior cameras and 2 interior cameras. So basically what I'm just going to do is a complete unboxing video. This is how it came shipped right up on the label here. You can't really see it. This is the Zmodo store. So I'm going to open the box. Right out of the box here. Bunch of cardboard. Now, I'm going to do 2 separate videos, actually 3 videos today for this system, because I purchased an extra camera for interior of the house, so that's going to be later. And then that's how it's in the box. The box is empty. That side here. This is how you get the camera system from Zmodo. Alright, gives you all the information on the side here, what's included in the box, and that shows you the 4 exterior cameras, 2 interior cameras, the NVR, which is basically what records it, and then the repeater. I'll explain more later on that. Alright, so let's open it. Let's see what's inside the box. This is, other than having a TV set or whatever you're going to use as a wall monitor, this comes with everything you should need to install this camera system. So, box open, you have your little instruction booklet, and you get a jump in, so information about the system. Pull that out, foam. So as you see, as soon as you open the box, you have your 2 interior cameras, all of which are 1080. Then the 4 exterior cameras, pretty much packed in there. They're sandwiched in it. You have a little box internal, which has your power source and an Ethernet cable and some wall mounts for your cameras themselves. Then you pull more cardboard. You see in the box you have yourself 1, 2. Let's say in the box here. So box for wire is 2 98-foot, 2 50-foot wires, and I'll do that here in a minute. So those are the 2 98s, and then 2 50-foot. Then you have a longer Ethernet, which is like 30 feet long, I think. So you have yourself. Moving back. You have yourself 1 long Ethernet, 1 short Ethernet. Alright? Then, let's see what's in this box. This is your repeater, power source cord. And then the last thing in the box is your NVR. All nicely packed. Lots of foam, lots of cardboard. You can see all the extra stuff in boxes. So this is your NVR. Okay, so now I've taken everything out of the box here. And like I was explaining, this is the child-proof. Okay, so this is the NVR. There appears to be coating of plastic on the face of it, and on the back side you have your Ethernet, some USB ports to plug in a mouse so you can control on screen, HDMI, and then your power source. So that's your NVR. this brown box here that I said has basically the mounts for these cameras here. So that way you can put them in sheetrock if you had to. So that's that box. Also in that box is the power supply for the NVR. We have, I'll explain more about this later, the 2 Ethernet, 30 foot and whatever this is, 4 or 6 foot. Then you have your repeater, same, it's coated in plastic. And then you have your power source. It's not the same, it's not like a little externally unplugged, it's actually ported to it. And you have you have 8 Ethernet plugs, and then the landline, the Ethernet, you go between this and that. So that's that. Move the stuff out of the way. You have yourself your 2 50-foot camera wires, 2 98-foot. Then, like I said, you have your cameras, 4 cameras here, and a little bit of a surprise because it does not say it online. When we open it up, we're trying to figure it out. Nowhere online did it say that these little indoor cameras are Wi-Fi. I knew online when I read it that it said that they were 1080, just like these are all 1080. These here are got a power source and a camera. There's no other place on it. In the camera, there's a place to plug into the power source, but there's no other place to hook wires. Nowhere did it say online from Zmodo that these are wired at all. It doesn't say wireless. They're just 1080 cameras. So it was a good surprise. It'll make these a little easier to install. I can just plug them in somewhere and pretty much plug them in and set them down and face them towards whatever you want to face, and you have yourself your system. So we're going to go into, I'm going to get this system hooked up, and once it's hooked up and running, I'll do more explaining on the actual system. Here's the camera installed facing the backyard, and you can see it's got a pivot. You can loosen this ring, and then you can adjust your camera position, and the wire for the camera comes out through the base. So it's a really nice setup. It's all aluminum, the whole housing for the camera, and where the wire comes out, what I was talking about is you don't have a giant connector, and like it says, please weatherproof cable ends if installed outside. So, and that's what I've done here. You can see it's literally, I mean, it looks bigger than what it actually is, because there's a bunch of wraps of the Nashua silicone tape on it, but I've wrapped it from here to here, basically, with the silicone tape. I use clear, but the nice thing about this is you can just hide it right behind the side in there, so you can't see anywhere where the wires have been run, because usually exterior siding on houses have enough of a gap on anywhere to run, you know, wherever you want to run the wires for the camera. So that's it. That's the camera. They have a nice little set. They changed the type of LEDs in the cameras, you know, for the infrareds. So that's the camera. Okay, so here I'm in my elevator closet where I installed this home security system. there's not much space, so if it feels like you're cramped in this, it's because it's cramped in here. What I did is, on the system, I temporarily have a TV screen in here so I can view it from in here. It's actually where this screen belongs, is on the 3rd story. And so I have it installed in here, and with it in here, I have one line coming from the 2nd floor to the system here to supply internet. Now, you would say have this upstairs. This house is different than most. You would have this upstairs next to your TV set, or you could wire it exactly how I have it here. But the reason I did it this way is because the internet comes in on the 2nd floor, and then when it comes down to here, you have to plug it into something. So on this system here, I put a splitter in line, so I have the internet coming in, and then I actually have these 2 boxes plugging into the splitter, so that way you can communicate with the internet. If you don't have internet, you could connect these 2 boxes directly together, and your system would still work. You just would not be able to do anything else with the system off like the internet using your phone. So, all right. So the reason I have it hooked up in here like this, you know, I have all the actual lines coming in. This is the repeater with the cameras coming in. So with all that coming in here, and then this going to the NVR, and it does not come with a mouse, so you have to get your own mouse. I have it all coming in here because I don't need a screen in this room, and I have a screen in the other part of the house. But the system technically doesn't even need a screen. What it actually you can do is go right on your app that comes from Zmodo, and you can view every picture. If it goes there, you can view every picture in every camera on your system right from the app. So you don't technically need a screen, but what you do need a screen for is if you have to do any adjustments from inside the system here. Let's say if I'm on the screen here using the mouse, you got to come in here, and let's say I only wanted 4 pictures, or if I wanted one specific screen. It makes it easy from this point. You know, I can view all 8 cameras, or view them all at one time, or you can go over into your main menu, which brings up your general settings, your device management, or your network settings. So basically these are all a bunch of different settings you're going to have to, you know, you may have to tweak if you don't like where one camera is in relation to another, if you want it in a different spot. So that's really what I'm just showing you here, that you can come in and you can kind of tweak the system. You know, like this one, for instance, video mask. If you have something in the screen you don't want somebody to see or record, like a neighbor's house window, you can actually block the window off so it doesn't see into their window. It'll actually create a gray spot on the screen. You know, there's a bunch of neat little features that the system has. It's just really getting to know how to operate the system here. So I won't go too much into that because it just creates a whole nother ball of wax for basically a whole new video. So it's stuff you're gonna have to learn on your own. And I think that's about it. Now, so what you're seeing here is it's kind of a rainy night outside. There's a lot of moisture in the air, and actually I have I think the dryer is blowing in the backyard. So it's between moisture from the street and the dryer creating a fog. It's actually whiting out the cameras in certain areas. So that's my front door, that's my front yard, and here I have one. Actually have a trailer in the garage. Let's see. Showing my garage, I have a trailer in there and some ladders. So, okay, this is the monitor I installed in the house. It's I'm on the 3rd floor here, and everything else is down on the 1st floor. So it's giving you a layout of the entire property, and then this picture is hardwired, 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 hardwired. This picture here is a doorbell camera. This picture is pan and tilt, and these are both Wi-Fi, they're smaller Wi-Fi cameras in the garage and the hallway. So I'm covering basically everything on my house. You know, it's an excellent system for the money. You know, and every system, I don't care what camera system you install, buy, you know, and I don't believe all the Amazon reviews anymore because there's just so many crappy reviews mixed in that, you know, some are fake, some are real, and you really can't trust the reviews anymore like you used to be able to. So a lot of problems that arise from installing a Zmodo system are installation error, whether it's too far from Wi-Fi or you know, just generalized installation problems you can have. You know, simple stuff, you know, that people overlook, and then they say, oh, there's something wrong with the system. It could be as simple as the stupid doorbell's too far from your Wi-Fi, and you have to put a beam in the center, somewhere in the center, plugged in a hallway, to extend that, you know, because your doorbell can keep going out and turning off, and it's really because it's losing Wi-Fi connection from the system through your home. So I think a lot of the problems that people complain about could be averted on the Zmodo by properly installing it or reading the instructions properly. It's an excellent system. My last Zmodo system I had for 5 years, and 5 years I had one camera go down, and that was in the week before I put this one in. They make it so you plug this little tiny connector in on the back of the camera, and I like to use the Nashua silicone tape. Excellent tape. You take and literally wrap it. It doesn't stick until you wrap and stretch it on itself. You wrap that whole thing and seal that whole connection. You'll never have a problem with that connection on that camera. That's one of the biggest problems with cameras going out outside is they're not properly sealed. That connection is not sealed. So get yourself some Nashua. It comes in black, clear, and white, and you can seal that, and it'll never get water in it. And like I said, I've had my home at my home and here 4 or 5 years, never had a problem with the camera going out. Their app, that's the other thing I'm going to completely forget about here. So their app, get out of the screen here because I'm not adding a camera. So I go to the app, and a lot of people complain about different apps. If I'm on my app and I have something going on, or I have this link to the internet, so it's telling me, you know, I have my notifications on. It's telling me it sees something while seeing the fog from the dryer. So anyway, let me go back to what I was saying here. So Zmodo's app, to me, it could use a little more tweaking, but it's a very good app compared to some I've seen. If I'm viewing live video, let's say, and while I'm viewing live video, something's going on in the video I want to record. So I literally just hit record, and it records it right to my phone. Whatever's going on, whether I'm viewing something in a cloud, whether I'm viewing something from wherever I'm at in the entire United States to my hard drive, the NVR, you know, however it is I'm viewing it. I could be linking directly to the NVR per each camera, and I said, oh, you know what, I want to record that. So I just recorded that video. You can see it just went off into the thing there. Or I need a snapshot. There you go, a snapshot saved right into my phone. So I love the app, just the way it works. It's very easy to save, record. Now, if I go to an event, say earlier, I go onto the events for the app, and this is just little things it sent me. Right now it's sending me fog. It's super sensitive to certain things, moisture and fog blown by the camera, because it analyzes the picture for something moving in it by image pixelization. It measures the amount of pixels on the screen to say there's something there that shouldn't be. And they have where you can pick zones, so it shouldn't, you know, take anything a picture of except for what walks through that zone or whatever. But
it won't alert you.
It won't. Well, yeah. I'll show that in a second. But all right, I'll go back to that. But so what I was going to say here is if I'm, say, there's motion on the camera here. Okay, so I go to the video of motion. Is this the one earlier? No. I go to the video of motion. All right, it's raining out. This is one me going outside. Oh, it did several. Okay, let's see which one. Okay, so there's video of motion going on, and that motion is me going outside, and it's total dark pitch black outside. So that video, the nice thing is I'm viewing it, I want to download it. There it is, I just downloaded it. That came right from the hard drive, right to my phone. So Zmodo's like, they're on the ball for being able to retrieve the video very easily. So you don't technically need a screen or a monitor anywhere. You can just plug your system in and have it operating, have it all run through your phone. You don't need this, that's optional. I put this here for if you're sitting in your living room and somebody's at the front door ringing the doorbell, you can just look up at it, or somebody's playing around with something out front and you're like, hey, go and yell off the deck out. And the other thing that I like about Zmodo is I had, now this is going back 5 years ago, I had a problem with their camera right out of the box. I got it brand new, had just installed it, and I sent an email to them and said, hey, I had a camera go down. And 15 minutes later I got a response and they said, no problem. They overnighted me a camera to replace the one that went down. They said, oh, you haven't done anything under warranty. So they sent me out a brand new camera. Zmodo system, unlike any of the systems on the market, has a 3-year warranty. None of them have 3 years. So that I like in itself. It's a relatively new company. They've been around 10 years, and I've been buying Zmodo systems for like 7 of that 10 years. So, and some of the early systems had a lot to be desired, but they still work great. So their tech support is decent. They have a US-based tech support, and you can have online chat. You can do it right through the app. There's a place in here somewhere. I'll just X myself out, yeah. Forget where I was. Gotcha. Oh, yeah. Zmodo support right in the app. You can go right in the app, click support, and you can chat back and forth with the problem with the system or whatever. So hopefully you don't have any real problems installing the system. I think the biggest problem is getting it linked up, getting plugged in the internet. It's just standard installation. If you're paying for professional installation, that will make a world of difference on the issues you have with your system. If you're doing it yourself, yeah, you're probably going to have, you're going to want to pull your hair out a few times, because some of the stuff can drive you crazy trying to get the QR codes to link to the cameras. Certain cameras, you're trying to be within 8 inches of the screen, and it makes for fun. So all in all, I like the Zmodo system. It's a very good system, and like every system on the market, there's pros and cons to all of them. Not one system on the market I think is any better than the other. And the other thing I can say about the systems on the market, I think they all use the same. If you got a 1080 camera, they're using the same cameras in all the systems. Like the little tiny camera that's inside that housing, that little camera is the same through all systems. The infrareds are the same for all systems. So there is really no one better than the other. It just depends on how good their tech support is, or how good the system operates. But it's like laptops today. They're basically everything inside of it. They use the same chips from one laptop to another, the same hard drives. They're all the same. So I like Zmodo products. That's pretty much what I'm coming down to, is compared to of the probably more than 100 security camera system manufacturers out there. Zmodo, I think, is one of the better ones because of just everything I've showed in the video here. And I would definitely recommend a Zmodo system to anybody. It's the installation is the fun part. So I hope you like my video. Like, share, and subscribe, because you never know what I'm going to do next.